A clipping mask allows you to clip or hide an area of artwork based on the shape of the topmost portion of your artwork. It's a great way to conceal areas that you don't want to be visible in your design. Let me show you how this works. I'm beginning this video with the clipping.ai file already open on my computer. And we can see that I basically have two fairly simple objects on this artboard. I have an image in the background here that I placed from a file. And then on top of that, I also have a shape that was drawn inside of Illustrator. Now, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to select both this grouped shape. You can see we actually have three different shapes, but I grouped them together up here at the top. And then I have this image. So I'm going to select both of those items. And to make this a mask, I'm going to go to the Object menu. I'm going to go to Clipping Mask, and I'm going to choose Make. Now, it's giving me a warning just because I have a lot of points on this path. And so we could certainly go in there and fine-tune that and simplify that a little bit. But we shouldn't have too much of a problem with this. So I'm going to go ahead and click Yes anyway. And you're going to see that it's going to make that topmost shape a clipping mask. And you can see that it's hidden all of the components that lied outside of that drawn area that I had on top. Now, this process doesn't just work with images and the shapes as you've seen here. You could do this with native shapes as well. So just as a quick example, if I draw, I'm just going to draw a couple of circles here. And I'll just make these different colors so we can see this. I'll just do like a red, green, and blue. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw another shape on top. So let's say I just wanted to see, where they intersected like this. If I select all of these and go to Object, Clipping Mask, Make, you're going to see that it has clipped the artwork to only that topmost element. Now, you may be wondering, can I still edit this at this point? Well, you'll notice when you hover over this, you can still see all of those original shapes. That is, if you have your smart guides turned on. And what makes it even more powerful, if you double click, it'll take you into isolation mode. So now I'm within the group. And if you wanted to, I could click on this circle and I could move it, change the behavior, change what it looks like. Or if I double click again, I can then get right into the object. We can change the color, just make this a light blue or whatever. And if we double click, now we still have the mask, and we've changed the contents of the mask. Now, the other way you can do this, if we click on this clipping mask, you can go to the Object menu, Clipping Mask, and choose Release. And that's going to then break it apart. It's no longer a clipping mask. It just breaks it apart into its primitive components. Now, I'm going to undo that. I'm going to go to Object, Clipping Mask, and choose Edit Contents. And now you can see that we are editing the contents of this area. So you can click on these individual elements and move them around. You're now moving only the contents within the mask. So it makes it really easy to make changes later on. Now, what I'll do is back over here, if we wanted to, say, reposition the image within this shape, we could double click. Now we're in the clipping mask or the clipping group. And if I double click again, now I have the image selected. So if I wanted to, maybe I want to nudge this image down a little bit. And now if I come out here, I can click the left arrow a couple of times. We can see that we have moved that within the mask. Now you want to be careful because I'm no longer filling the overall shape. So we have to be careful about that. So I would need to double click on this again and just slide this up, make sure I have plenty of area to fill the shape. And then I can hit the left arrow to exit out of that. And now I've filled the clipping mask or the clipping group again. So if you want to hide portions of your artwork but still retain the ability to edit all of the components, you'll surely want to make use of clipping masks, as they'll save you tons of time in the long run.